Good morning again. This is Arlene and my co-host Gowri is here today. We have our
guest for today.
Our guest, and he has been here before, but now he's going to talk on a topic that we all, I think, would feel very excited about and interested to know as well. Is the issue on how to spot a cheating spouse. Dr. Akhbar Satar, he's a corporate fraud investigator, and he will discuss more than just about fraud, but about how to detect a cheating spouse and how to know about it. And he will also talk more about the history of how to, detect all these different people, when they are cheating on you, and how to know they are doing that. So welcome to the studio, Dr. Satar.
Thank you for inviting me again.
So maybe we'll go to a little history, maybe the history of lying itself, if there's such a thing. Maybe you can explain to us a little bit how far back it goes, this lying and cheating.
In China, in order to detect whether you lie or not, about 2,000 years ago, what they did was that they asked you to chew rice. So after a while, you have to spit the rice. If the rice is dry, therefore you are lying. This is called physiology. In physiology, liar, has always a dry mouth. That means they have less saliva. And in Egypt again, about 2,000 years ago, how do they detect whether you are lying or not? What they did was that they used to burn the leather, and when it is hot, they ask a person who come to see the so-called lie detector. So what they did was that they asked you to lick the leather for 3 times.
Yeah.
So again, if you lie, therefore you have less saliva.
Okay.
And obviously you have a blister, lips. This is how they show.
Why do you think we usually liars have less saliva?
This is physiology, right? Automatically, when you lie, you are scared, therefore you have less saliva. But this is called physiology. And in psychology, it's quite different. Where when you lie, normally you have different tone. This is one of the ways to detect. And secondly, your facial expression is also different. So when you talk about lie, there are 2 types of lying, right? Whether we can detect you through physiology or through psychology.
So what about through psychology? I think we should fast forward to the modern society now. Usually when people when authorities such as the police or even you as an investigator want to spot a liar, what is the first sign of psychological sign that you spot?
When you have experience, right, in investigation or interrogation or interview, normally you can spot a liar because they acted differently, abnormal. This is very easy. And in body language, you have to know that about 80% of communication is done through body language, and only 10% attributable to actual words of conversation, because often words are inadequate in this purpose. So meaning to say that if you are an investigator, it's quite easy to spot whether somebody is lying or not by looking at their body language and reaction. So again, right, when you lie, your tone is different. If I ask you, are you from Kuala Lumpur? If you are from Kelantan, of course you say no, right? If I ask you another question, did you go out with Nancy last night? No. So that different tone can tell that you are lying. So this is psychology. and automatically, when you lie, your whole body, physiological or psychological, will change.
Do you think liars would usually give more excuse when they were interrogated than normal, like people who are not lying?
Correct. When you ask your husband whether
or the husband asks the wife. We don't want to make this as seen as it's a man's fault.
Yeah, both on both sides. When you ask your husband or your wife, your husband, okay, first example, did you go out with Nancy? As usual, right? A truthful person will just give an answer, no. But a liar, after some time, he keep on trying to explain many times. That is a normal liar. It's quite very easy to detect.
So, just now you mentioned something about the posture. What are certain maybe distinct gestures that you can spot on a liar?
Firstly, you can see once you ask, did you go out with Nancy?
Who is Nancy? Why do you keep mentioning?
There is some history. Did you go out with Nancy? As usual, your face expression will be different. Automatically. It is psychologically, right? And secondly, liars always have dry lip, and thirdly, I think, some of them have white foam, These are liars, Yeah, these are certain symptoms that you can see. But I believe all women, they can detect when their husband is lying. But the problem is that they dare not, make a conclusion. I think God has given us the instinct where you can smell, when somebody is lying. But of course, expert put it into a book. It is called body language. But everybody is a lie detector. But whether you are brave to detect and to give answer, that's a different story.
And talking about detecting lies, you also have this lie detector. And tell us more about this lie detector that you managed before.
How it works.
Yeah.
The most accurate tool at the moment, right, to detect whether you lie or not is polygraph. It is an instrument where they use 3 channels. One of the channels is they detect your respiration, right? So normally when you lie, you breathe differently, sometimes faster, sometimes slower. That will change. And secondly, they use the other channel. It is called heartbeat. So you detect your heartbeat. If you lie, sometimes your heartbeat will
become more rapid.
more rapid and faster. I give you one good example, right? 40 years ago, I have a girlfriend in my hometown. Not Nancy. So every time during during Hari Raya, so I went back to Kampung, but assume that you really love her, but she rejected you. Really, right? But once you go back, every Hari Raya you go back, she passed by your house, automatically your heart start beating faster and faster. This is called involuntary. In your central nervous system, there are 2 systems. One system is called voluntary, where you can direct your hand to go up and down. But there is another system called involuntary, your heart. You can't control, right? Sometimes, you speak in front of people, in front of public, so normally you get shivering very fast. That is involuntary. You can't control. This is how we detect. The third one will be the skin conductance. Skin, we use galvanometer. Liar always have wet hand, So this has been detect through galvanometer. So we use 2 system: respiration, heartbeat, and skin conductors. So you cannot run away.
But there are situations where some people, they have certain problems with their health that they would like sweat rapidly, or they would talk in a way that is suspicious, but actually their intention is well. How do you go further than just detecting through like physiology and the psychology of the person? If the person really have certain attitude that is similar to cheating, but they are not really cheating.
Yeah, but okay, as usual, survey shows that maybe 1 out of 10 have this kind of situation, but we have other ways to detect. Not only through your what they call sweating, but we have the way. That's why in polygraph you have 3 systems. You still can detect your heartbeat and also your respiration. So you can't run away.
So those who are cheating, how is their respiration would be?
It based on the graph. So a certified polygraph examiner normally will know the pattern of respiration. Maybe we have 10 or 12 pattern, the line pattern where we can give mark. And also on your respiration, there are patterns, and heartbeat plus your skin conductor. So we have pattern. So this is you have to be a certified what they call a polygraph examiner before you can determine whether someone is lying or not. But a machine polygraph instrument is only instrument. But to detect whether you lie or not is the examiner. It's not the instrument. So meaning to say you must become expert. So the polygraph only produce graph, but you are the one who will interpret. So this take quite an intensive course, to undergo before you can become a certified forensic polygraph examiner.
Okay, I don't think usually a spouse would use a polygraph to another spouse. That's a bit too advanced. But let's say you suspected your wife is cheating because, let's say you suspected your wife is cheating and you don't know what else to do, but it's just a suspicion. What can you do next to like determine?
What are the signs?
What are the signs?
Look out for.
Before I answer your question, I think your first question is relevant because there are so many couple who came over to my office to send their spouse to do or to undergo polygraph examination. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, but you'll be surprised that people from Middle East, so they come from UAE, from Egypt, because there is no what they call a service in their country. They came over and and send their wife. They want to determine whether.
So usually the man that sends their wife instead of the other way around.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, both have to undergo polygraph and both fail.
I guess it's more than from that conclusion I would say that it's not just about cheating. I think it's also about trust building, and they fail, I guess, in terms of trust building with each other.
It's correct. You must know that in criminology, there's one terminology. It is called hedonistic. Hedonistic means maximize pleasure, minimize pain. So we always not enough, you see. Sometimes you have your salary 2,000. At a certain point, you think that it is not enough. Then we change job and hoping to get 4,000. Then from the 8,000, same thing. Some people, like Muslim, like we can get married more than one. So most of us, as usual, not enough more than one. But whether you can maintain or not, right? Whether you have to be fair, then only you can practice that. So it is called hedonistic. To answer back your question, how to detect whether your spouse is lying or not, right?
Whether Nancy is lying.
First thing, you change your routine activity. Very simple. From coming back at 9, he or she come back at 10, 11. That are different. Using more perfumes, buying new perfumes, changing
why
clothes.
Perfumes?
Oh, that is the best way to attract your couple, right? Easiest way, right? That is quite common. I think if you can recall back your history, it's quite common that normally when you want to meet somebody, you have to spray some perfume. And if possible, every day you change the perfume with different brand and different smell. Correct. It's very easy. Yeah. This is normal, but you don't realize. This is quite normal. So normally when you want to get to know somebody, you are trying, to impress him or impress her. by by using more. I think there's some experience here.
She's just amused with all this, all the examples.
Yeah. No. That means you trust me. You know what I'm saying is correct.
Yeah. Okay. Let's continue.
Yeah. And secondly, you talk about message now, SMS. If you have an affair, normally you behave differently, correct? You try to hide your phone, right? And of course, as usual, you reading message in toilet, this kind of attitude. It is very suspicious, right? And phone will not be left on the table because you are scared your spouse, either husband or wife,
will get hold of this.
Will get hold of it because you'll be in trouble because it is evidence. Hard evidence is difficult to rebut.
There's this one show in MTV. It's called Catfish. Whenever I'm back at home in my parents' place, I always watch it, and it's pretty interesting because nowadays a lot of people, they just simply trust another people on the internet, and then they fell in love with that person, but they never meet them, and they have no idea whether it's even a real person or not. And the show always, oftentimes, try to help the victim to really communicate with the person on the internet and actually try to search for the identity of that person. And most often, they are not even real people. They are just, it could be like a man pretending to be a woman and then trying to like lure the victim. And it can be someone who is just so frustrated with their life. They just like pretend to live a fantasy life and have a fantasy personality and try to get the attention of another person. So when it comes to like online love relationship, how can we know that it's not a real person, the person that we are contacting with?
This is common among Malaysian ladies.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's why we have the Nigerian scam, I guess.
Right, exactly. Because some of them, when you are frustrated, you are quite easy to get entangled with somebody you do not know. So this is very bad because it's very important. Luckily, you know about something about. Quite well versed in internet. Of course, you can Google. The easiest way is normally you have his account number, right? So you just Google in. From that, if you are lucky, sometime the other party who has been cheated has already come up with some explanation on this guy. This is very important. Yeah, you just Google, quite easy. And secondly, it's quite easy to detect because the most important, if you really want, before you fall, right, you better meet up, right? You better meet up. And then the problem with Malaysian is that because we are too easy to get entangled with this group, right? So normally they are not aware that they have been cheated by these people.
So they are not aware of it. So this is my last question for today. What can we do to ensure that we will be protected? Like, and also for those who are cheating, how can they sort of try to learn to be more honest?
It's quite difficult, right, to change people's attitudes, especially when you are in love. It's very difficult. Once you are in love, you will not be listening to anybody. So this is a very difficult, tough time. So for ladies, I think you have to be patient. Since you have been with a man for 20 years, are you going to just let go like that, right? So never give up. Always try to be your best, right? And do whatever he like. Don't let somebody else take over your place. Sometimes these people, especially the girls that we newly met, what are their intentions? If I'm 50, 60 or 70 years old, 60 years old, I don't think you love because of my because of me, but because of my money, right? So this is very important. But for men, love is blind, you know.
I see.
So again, right? I really don't just give up. You know, sometimes you give up, that means you fail. Why not you try? You know, sometimes men will change because it is not easy to detect or to know, you know, the other girl whether they are really sincere or not. So it takes time. So you don't ever give up and try, you know, to do your level best. You know, try to.
So are you saying that if a person cheated once, we can still trust that person? Right? Because there are some people who say that if he cheated once, he might cheated twice. So better don't like give him any chance or give her any chance.
But I think it's not wrong to give chance, because are you going to, just because he cheated you once, are you going to spoil the whole of your life with your children, right? I think you have to find ways. You know, sometimes we have weaknesses. You know, go to spa, right, and you know, make yourself look more sexy, something like that. Some men they do need that kind of you know, situation. It's not wrong.
So what? Yeah,
try to fight.
Why are you saying that rather than put a blame on each other, try to fix the relationship?
Yeah.
Try to focus on
improving each other.
Yeah, exactly. Because humans are weak. You know, we are weak, especially on, again, as I mentioned last time, trita in Malay, harta, tahta, wanita. We are really weak, especially when encounter with ladies. So I say, as a wife, why must you give up, right? Why must you give up? Go on, right? Go on and go on. At the end of the day, you saw most of them who get married more than one. Who will be the most? Who will this man will depend? He will still depend on the first wife, you know. So meaning to say, don't give up. You know, you give up, you have failed. That means somebody else take over your place. Then you rugi.
Well, I guess that's from the male perspective. I mean, if it's on the male, but if it's on the woman, I guess the man also shouldn't give up on the woman as well. If the woman cheated on him. But that's the thing, like once people experience being cheated, usually it's very hard for them to build that trust. It takes more time and effort, but it's also not impossible as well. I mean, that's the reason why people like personalities like Hillary Clinton accepted Bill Clinton even after he cheated on her. But usually my question would be like, would the man do the same thing as well towards the woman if the woman cheated on him? I mean,
it depends. You know, men as usual, ego, super ego, right? But again, you know, deep inside their heart, they still love the lady. You know, first love.
Yeah.
This is very important. Yeah, you know, sometimes ego they don't want to show, but once you split, you are not together, then you'll be suffering. You become thinner and thinner. You see, in life, normally when your wife pass away, after a few months, the man will die. You know, so. Unless, you know, somebody have some objective to get a new wife, that is a different story. But normally this situation, we talk about a general public. We always think, you know, we started with together, you know, riding motorbike. you know, first time when we started to work about 30 years ago. But now we have car, we have decent house, we have family. Are we going to, you know, spoil the whole thing, right? I think don't give up. This is very important. Take your time, think, right? At least go somewhere. You know, if you quarrel, go somewhere, travel. You come back. Normally you change, because for men and also women, you feel lonely. You know, then you keep on thinking on all the positive. What do you call things that, you know, she or he have done to you. This is very important. Don't give up, because we are stupid. You know, give up. Somebody else take over. What more? Normally, you know, when we are at this age, normally you are more better, right? Much better in financial, right? Right? Compared to when we first started to it. Why must you give up? Right? Don't give up.
That's true.
Try to fight and be level best, and do whatever, you know. And then the best part is that you really know his weaknesses, right? What he like and what he doesn't like. So play your part again, starting from what you have started before, right? That's why he or she fall in love with you. start back.
That's true. Anyway, that's all that we have for today.
Yeah,
time
thank you
flies really
very
fast
much
when you talk about this kind of issue.
I'm a counselor today.
Yeah, thank you very much to Dato Akhbar Satar, who is from the Institute of Crime and Criminology from Help University.
Thanks.